Hey, CJ, I guess just starting off, could you give us an update on where you are medically, what you're cleared to do, and what your anticipation is for training camp?
I'm cleared to do everything. I've been working with my trainers every week as far as workouts and rehab. So once we get back in the building, whenever that is, then we'll go from there.
Your expectation is then you'd be able to participate in training camp?
Yes.
So CJ, you've been able to do your running and cutting and things like that you weren't able to do, I guess, last month when we spoke?
Yeah, correct. So pretty much found a field to go to, and I'm just been doing our workouts that way.
CJ, now that this whole virtual off season is pretty much wrapping up, what did you get out of it from the player perspective?
I think it was a little more interesting because usually when OTAs and meets like that in the facility, we don't get as much meeting time. Position meetings, and once we got to our different schedule, we went, we were on an hour just position meeting, defensive meeting. So I think we got a good time to actually go in depth into like every install that we did. So I think that was the most unique thing about it.
CJ, are you going to have any, let's assume that training camp starts on time. Are you going to have any concerns? What is your level of concern about gathering with a large group of people, amid this pandemic? Do you have any concerns about getting the virus?
I mean, you can only control what you can control. I feel that, the NFLPA and the NFL, working together and working with, doctors, whoever the experts are, to make sure have the right medical staff to have everybody safe and sound when we do get back, or if we get back. What the plan is, but I'm just doing everything I can on my side, to stay safe, keep my family safe, make sure I'm ready to go.
CJ, what has been the biggest challenge of this offseason, the way it's been set up virtually?
From the football aspect, the challenge hasn't been hard at all. It was just a little annoying. We kind of got on the schedule in January, February, as far as, my rehab and working out. Then, the JSV, we did a reconstruction on the weight room, so we had moved to another gym. Then as soon as we were getting that going, then everything got shut down. So it was kind of just start and stop with everything as far as my rehab and workout. Once I got kind of settled in, luckily I had some stuff in my basement. I did a good job of sending me some stuff. And it's kind of just been my workout schedule, just working out from home, doing my rehab cards. And now that I got a chance to get on the field, I can actually do more work as far as footwork, football movements. And that was kind of my big thing, going into this offseason, being able to cut and plan and do football movements, because that was stopping me during the season from get back on the field. So once I got that out the way, I'm pretty confident that I'll be good to go.
Are you based out of New Jersey or Alabama? Where are you working now?
I've been in New Jersey the whole time.
CJ, we understand that you guys had a team meeting last week on your virtual team meetings where Christopher Johnson and the coaches and front office addressed the George Floyd tragedy and the fallout. Could you tell us what that was like and what sort of discourse you guys had as players and team officials?
Yeah, so he came up. Well, he came on the video call. Talked to the whole team. The players, the coaches, staff. Whoever was in the video chat. He expressed his concerns, and he pretty much let us know that anything that we needed, he was there to help. He gave out his personal info, and he said any guy want to call, any guy want to get together to work something out, he was there to help. So that definitely meant a lot to me. I'm pretty sure to everybody else for him to come out of his way, from his home into those things.
You guys have a lot of former policemen that work for the organization. Have you had a chance to talk to any of those guys?
No, I haven't.
How do you feel the league has responded in the aftermath of the player video, which went viral, you know, which included Jamal? How do you think the league has handled it?
For the most part, I believe they handled it well. At the end of the day, it's about the end goal. Where can we go from here? We've been through the situation already, and the things that happen. So I hope this year or going forward, we can make ourselves better. We can better each other as far as the players, to the NFL, as far as the NFL, to the players, and to the community that we live in. Because each team affects their affects their state, affects their city, affects their community a certain way. So I hope the NFL and the Players Association and the players all work together to try to better each team and to provide everything that we can to to help this cause.
What do you see as the end goal?
Equality for all, better in the system, as far as the police, anywhere where there's poverty, players and teams and owners being there to help. So we always talk about how we want to help out in the community, help out in places in need. So I think starting there is the main goal. And I think with the protests and everything, or like when Mr. Johnson gave out his number, us players reaching out, and hopefully all owners doing the same thing, reaching out to the players to try to figure out a way where as a team we can come together and show the world that not just the NFL, but each individual team can do something about the community that they're in.
You think you'll take a knee during the anthem when the season starts?
I'm not sure. I feel that as a team, as a leader, I need to talk to my teammates first. I need to talk to Coach Gates first. I need to talk to the owner first. I can only speak on how we did in Baltimore when kneeling was a big talk of the town back in 2016-17 when we played on Jacksonville. We was one of the first teams to fully take a knee. Some guys didn't, but from that experience, it was a lot. It was a lot on a lot of guys' mind. Before the game, we was in the locker room talking and crying about the things that were said or how we felt about the situation. So it was a lot of raw emotions, going into that game. Like nobody was really focused on football. We was talking about what was going on. And at that game, the guys that said, "Are we going to kneel together or stand together?" The guys made their choices, and I was one of the guys that kneeled. But when we got back from that London trip, we had a players only meeting to try to talk about, what's the right thing to do, so we don't get the narrative, pushed the wrong way. So what we did before the flag, the guys took a knee. They wanted to take a knee, and the other guys, stood and locked arms. Then once the national anthem came up, everybody just stood up. So just from that experience, I know I can use that, to talk to the coaches, talk to players, and see if that's something we want to do moving forward.
Do you think at some point the Jets should have that kind of conversation then, like before the first game, just to see where guys stand?
For sure, that's something that we have to do because it's going to come up again. Some guys are definitely going to kneel again. Some guys won't. Like I said, I hope the NFL and the owners, can look back on that situation and make sure we all handle it the right way. I would think that that the NFL and the owners and the coaches will have have our backs 100% full support. Like I said, we got to have that conversation so we can all see where everybody's mindset is, and these type of discussions that we usually have in our locker room, but it's a little harder because guys don't talk as much, aren't as close when we're not seeing each other every single day.
You had said during that game that you guys might have been a little distracted because of all that was going on. How do you compartmentalize this where you try to help in the community, but also make sure you're 100% focused on game day?
I guess it all depends on where you are. I guess it all depends, how much you want to put into the situation, because you're definitely there to do your job, be a football player, but you're a human too. A lot of people have been affected different ways in their past, in their family's past, and even now still today. So like I said, these are the kind of issues that you talk about in the locker room amongst each other. But like I said, it's a little bit harder since we're all away. So I think collectively we all need to get together, whether it's a whole group as a goal or there's certain players reach out, or we just have, a players only meeting on a Zoom call, something like that, to figure out, what we want to do or how we want to move things forward, and still try to focus on, football.
TJ, this might be a tough question since you guys haven't been on the field together yet, but how much do you feel like this team has improved, and what are your expectations for the Jets this season?
Just everybody been in the system more than a year, new coaches, new players, a lot of new faces last year. So we really didn't have a foundation to lean on. Everybody's kind of learning on the go and just getting right on the field and, kind of filling each other out, filling out the chemistry. So I feel like this year, we have a pretty solid foundation. And I know as far as the defensive aspect, I feel we've done really well as far as our virtual meetings. So I think once we get back on the field, guys are already know the system, so it wouldn't be so much learning. It'd be more repetition for the defense and for the team to get back on the field and try to get going quick as possible.
What was your reaction to the team signing Joe Flacco?
I was excited. He's definitely had a great career as an NFL player. When I was there in Baltimore with him, I've been with him through the ups and downs, and just to see him, still getting his chance. So. And, it's as a different role, but, as a football player, once you learn the business, like it comes to a certain time where, they try to look for the young guys and try to move you out or get you to the next position. So for me, I think it's a great addition to the team. It's a great addition for Sam, have a veteran quarterback. I've been through a lot of situations, a lot of adversity on and off the field, through injuries, through all those type of things. And then just pick a very Super Bowl MVP's mind. So as far as that aspect, I'm very excited.
Take a couple more guys.
Is there a guy on defense who you're most looking forward to seeing in terms of a guy you expect to make a big leap, a young player, a breakthrough type year from a player?
I still think with Quinnen, he fought a few injuries early, so he missed a few games. But if you look back at his career at Alabama, he didn't play a lot. So I think he still has a lot of raw talent in him. I think the more he learns, the more experience he gets on the field, it's going to make him that much better. Just learning little things, whether it's school number one gap where you see a fullback somewhere, or, looking at the way the offensive line lined up here in calls. So just those little things is going to help him as he get older. You're just not going to learn that right off the bat. So, guys like me and and the coaches, just got to stay on him, make sure he's in the right mindset, because he's definitely that guy in the middle of our defense that can wreck games.
What about Patrick Onwuasor, your former teammate who you played well together with a couple of years ago? Can you discuss him a little bit? And also, you have a lot of guys at linebacker now competing there.
Yeah, so I think the most unique thing about our room this year is that every guy's played. With the injuries that we had, every getting out early, a lot of guys have to step in the roles that they weren't comfortable playing, and they have to play it. And they did a great job doing it. A lot of guys were moving positions on the fly. In practice, or in the meeting rooms when I wasn't playing, I was still there helping guys out. So I think we got a lot better in that aspect with the experience of our linebacker core. And adding Peanut outside of defense, that just adds another person on special teams, because that's a big part of our team as well. So that he has a great experience on special teams, because Baltimore took special teams very seriously. And he's always a player that makes plays around the ball. He's always punching the ball out. He's a good run stopper. So I just think those 3-4 years of experience is going to help us even more.
Hey, CJ, it's Kim Jones from NFL Network. Up until last year, you were on the field for 95+% of the snaps in Baltimore, as you know. I'm just wondering, from last season, can you take anything as a learning experience or anything that might help you have a better? I'm a big believer we have to take positive things out of negatives, and that's the reason I'm asking this. Can you take something from that can help you this year?
Just don't take anything for granted. Last year, I hurt my knee like the third game of the season. I thought my season was over with. Ended up missing 2 games. This year, fighting that injury, working 2-3 months to get back on the field, trying to play that Monday night game. It was pretty much playing on one leg. You really realize how much the game means to you when you're away for so long. Just from rehabbing while the team was practicing, it was like 2-3 months where You know, I didn't see the sunlight because I get in at 6 in the morning, 6:30 in the morning, you know, and then go and be in rehab all day, then work out, then meeting. And by the time we were out, it's like 6 o'clock and there's no sun. So once I knew I was done trying to get back, just being outside just made me that much more happy. So you kind of realize how much you love the game and how much, you know, it means to you to be out there with your teammates, because you definitely get a little isolated when you're just, you know, in a facility and training room working out and, you know, just trying to do everything to stay sane when you just going to meetings, you know, and you know, just getting ready for the game like you're about to play and no, you're not. So I think that was the biggest thing for me, just kind of just realizing how much, you know, football really meant to me when I pretty much missed the whole season.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. Thank you very much. CJ, if you can just hold on.